Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Starner and I will be giving a short lesson on servers and clients pertaining to high-level definitions of each, what they do, and their interactions between each other in a network. So you might have wondered, when you go to a website like Facebook or Google, where is your computer actually getting all this information from? Well, for a site like Google and most others, it is coming from its servers and their data centers all around the world and actually being sent back to your computer. This process is following what is known as the client-server model. It is how two different computers share and exchange information over a network or the internet in most cases when you surf the web. The client-server model starts with a client who initiates a connection, seen on the left in the picture, and a server that responds to that connection, seen on the right. So in this situation, your computer is a client and Google's data center has the servers, and then that kind of shows like real world client server model usage. So a little definitions. A client is a computer that sends a request to a server and awaits for a response, then displays that response. A server is a computer that listens on a host and port, receives the request, and then sends a response to the client who initiated that connection. Like before with the Google example, your computer is the client that sends the request initially to see the website, and then Google servers respond back with the web page, the search results, or whatever other page you might be looking at. That can also be seen in the picture down below. The client starts a request, it goes through the network to the server, and then the server sends a response back to the client. So in this awesome little diagram we have here, you are searching the internet for something on Google. You start typing and then you hit enter. When you hit enter, that sends a request out to Google, which then it goes to their data centers. And those data centers reads and figure out what to do with the information that you just gave it. And from there, it calculates it all and sends back the correct page with the search results. This whole process and most other connections work on a request-response basis. This means that when you type something in or hit enter and go to a web page, it sends a request to Google, either with information like a search field or something. That's called a post request, or it can just be a get request, which is just showing a web page with no information getting sent to the server per se. Pretty much a great way to figure this out and think about it is, if I go to the right program, is if you think about it like a conversation. Using my crudely drawn stick people, we have Bob, who is a client side, and Sally, who is a server. Now, how servers work is they don't actually send out requests unless they get something first. They cannot start the connection. So Bob, just like a conversation, has to say something to Sally. In this case, hi. So then that information is a request to Sally. Now, at this point, Sally has to respond. She can respond in a multitude of different ways depending on what Bob says, but in this case, she's just going to say hi right back. And then this information gets sent back to Bob, and then Bob can display it. If it's a browser, it'll show a web page. And this is like a very high level, easy way to think about it, but it's actually very accurate of how it actually works. So it's very easy and nice to know. Now, actually, back to this. Bob is not the only one talking to Sally, and that's why Sally cannot start that connection with Bob. Bob has to start it. There could actually be multitudes of people having conversations with Sally at once, and Bob is just one of them. So each time Bob wants something, Bob would have to ask again. That's why each time you click like a link or something, the whole page has to refresh, because it has to send that information back out, and then it has to come back in again completely. So going from there back into our awesome slideshow, pretty much all those requests and everything that you see make up a majority, if not all, of the web pages that you see are done through this request basis on a client-server model. It's very heavily used today. If you do website development or hosting, you are actually setting up a server, and then when you go to it, you are the client, like said previously. So just a quick little summary. A server is something that actually handles and services the request from the client. The client is usually, if not always, the initiator. A single server accommodates multiple clients, and the server is responsible for the data processing and operations, while the client handles the presentation, such as like in a browser or something, if you're in Chrome or Safari. So yeah, that's a very quick overview of servers and clients. If there's any questions or concerns, my contact information is right here. I'd love to hear more and have a deeper conversation. Thank you very much.